Merry Christmas, Dino Dudes! It's me, the Meteoraptor, and welcome to the Meteoraptor's 4th annual Christmas special. The 4th one. Here's to Christmas, to family, and to movies. Even though, let's be honest, 2017 has been the best year for movies. Guys, I love Christmas. I love everything about it. And to be honest, you have to be a real Scrooge not to like Christmas. I immediately retract that statement. I know some people don't, excuse me, don't like Christmas because of the commercialism or forced religious aspects, or they just can't spend time with their family for certain reasons, and I get that. I don't mean to offend you. That was just me trying to be funny. I'm not good at it. So, for the 4th annual Christmas special, what are we going to review? Well, let me tell you something. Growing up, every year, I would always find at least 20 different versions of a story playing on TV. And it's not a Christmas story. It was always a Christmas carol. Yeah, every year there'd be at least 20 different versions playing all throughout the week and week after leading up to Christmas and after. And let me tell you, I did not like it. No sirree, I did not like that story at all. I thought it was dark. I thought it was boring. I thought it was dull. I thought it was gritty. I thought it was depressing. I thought it was overly exemplifying a single character to try and justify a almost nihilistic view of Christmas. Like, growing up, I did not like it. I thought it was just a waste of time. There was one version growing up I did like, which was Bah Humduck, a Looney Tunes Christmas carol. And even then, I only liked that one because it was kind of making fun of a Christmas carol. And really, you can't deny the fact that the Christmas carol is everywhere. Look how many movie versions there's been, stage plays, sideshow theater, television parodies. Everything has made fun of a Christmas carol at least once. But in the past few years, I've kind of developed an enjoyment of it. I find the story quite entertaining, quite endearing. I find it to be a very interesting take, almost psychological journey into the life of one man, and how actions in one's life can truly shape it. I find the story itself okay. I think it's an okay story, but I always love the Ghost of Christmas Future. Now, perhaps my biggest problem, if we're being honest, with the Christmas Carol, my biggest problem was, what version do I watch? This is incredibly uncomfortable. Because, like I said, there were so many different versions. Well, I finally found one, aside from Bah Humduck, an actual retelling of it that's quite faithful to the original, which is surprisingly probably the best I've seen so far. It's 1988's Mickey's A Christmas Carol. Or is it Mickey Mouse? It's Mickey's Christmas Carol. Sorry, I got that name wrong. You might be thinking, wait, Mickey's Christmas Carol is the best one you've seen? Yeah, and I've seen like 9 so far, so I can say that. Let me tell you why. See, let's talk about the story. You'd expect Disney to take a Christmas Carol and do some sort of spin on it. Make it like what they do with the Muppets. Make it goofy, but also still kind of dark. They don't. They tell the story with their characters, which leads to some of the greatest character choices I have ever seen. Bob Cratchit is Mickey. Ebenezer Scrooge is Scrooge McDuck. Those are perfect. I think that's hilarious. Jacob Marley is Goofy, which is actually both terrifying and kind of funny. Like, the Ghost of Christmas Past is Jiminy Cricket. The Ghost of Christmas Future is Pete. Now, this is where I begin to think why this is one of the better versions. See, when you look at Disney, whenever they talk about Mickey Mouse or any of those characters, death is usually something they shy away from. Yes, I know, Goofy had a wife who died. Like, parents die all the time, but as for an actual character just dying, Disney hasn't actually done a lot of that. They've always done heroic sacrifices or tragic deaths. They haven't just had old age or some other cause. So what happens with Goofy, it just kind of adds this weird, like, wow, Disney is willing to do this. And the characters, well, at first you kind of see them just as the characters. As time goes on, you actually begin to see them as the characters they're playing, as the characters they're supposed to be from the story. Jacob Marley has a very brief scene. I think it's best that they didn't give Goofy a whole lot of time, because you might have kind of seen him as Goofy to Jacob to Goofy again. But he goes from Goofy to Jacob Marley, and it works. It's surprisingly chilling, and yet still kind of fun. I didn't really mention the Ghost of Christmas Present, because I don't really know who that character is. I'm gonna be honest. I'm sorry about that. And they don't say his name either, it's just the Ghost of Christmas Present. But you want to know what really surprised me? I mentioned I love the Ghost of Christmas Future, for kind of the wrong reason. I love the idea of the story of redemption, about how Scrooge does change. I love that he's able to see his past, present, and what his actions will cause, and that's what makes him change. Not just, oh, I suddenly feel like changing. It's, he sees the consequences of his actions. He feels remorse, and he wants to change. It's genuine. Now, if you know the story, you know that Tiny Tim dies. So, this is Disney. They're known for making family-friendly content. They're known for kind of being willing to take the edge out of something to try and make it more family-friendly. So, would somebody please explain to me why they murdered a child and show them burying him? Could somebody please explain that to me? Hello? Disney fanatics? You wanna try and defend this? Yeah. That's what I thought. Tiny Tim dies in this version. Mickey Mouse's son dies, and you see them cry over it. I don't think I've ever seen Mickey Mouse genuinely cry over death. That is something truly frightening. You know what's even more frightening? Aside from how fast I'm drinking this Mountain Dew, or how many Mountain Dews I powered through today, it's the scene before he wakes up. So what happens is Pete takes him to the graveyard, and, well, because he's the Ghost of Christmas Future, I mean, and they find out, oh, it's his grave and all that, there's no one there. He's kicked into the grave, he's hanging off like the story goes, and then the coffin opens up and fire starts spewing out and hands are reaching out. I know they've always done this in some form of it saying you're going to hell, which is kind of another big kicker as to why he changes. But dude, this is Disney. Okay, I was mind blown at Dr. Facilier's death. Like, they literally drag him screaming into hell. And that thing got a G rating in 20... whenever it came out. I know that in the 80s people didn't care nearly as much, but I really didn't think Disney would be jumping on that bandwagon as well. Maybe it's just the idea, like, Scrooge's death, that scene has always been one of the most frightening things I've ever seen because of the implications of it. The idea of not even of you don't know if you're going to heaven or hell when you die. It's straight up, you're falling, you're not dead, but you know you're going to hell. That, as someone who is a Christian, is one of the scariest ideas there is. So, shockingly, the story is 100% accurate to the original, even down to the ending. And I will tell you, I love the ending of A Christmas Carol. I don't think I've ever seen a bad Christmas Carol ending. I've seen bad versions or bad points in different versions, but the ending always makes me smile and feel amazing. And this one, it's one of the best. I always love just seeing how much he changes, just seeing the happiness and the warmth and the love. It just... that kind of Christmas spirit, I love. I'm a real sucker for it. So, the story and the characters are what you would expect. What about the acting? Well, what's his name? Scrooge McDuck is played by the same guy who voiced Scrooge in DuckTales. I forget his name. I just was looking it up earlier because I wanted to make sure it was the same guy. He does a great job. But then again, he's been playing Scrooge for so long. He's bound to know how to do it. The guy who plays Mickey is fantastic. Mega props to the dude whoever played Jiminy Cricket. It sounded almost identical to Jiminy. A little off, But even then, I was actually trying to find vocal differences between the two. The only one I think who really sounded weird was Goofy. But that's partially because they were also distilling his voice and kind of making it echo because he's a ghost. That and just the stuff he was saying, you never really think you'd hear Goofy talk about in real life. I don't know. Personally, though, I think all the actors did a great job. The animation... Oh, one last thing. The guy who played Pete sounds perfect. It sounds like all the other versions I've ever heard. Now, I don't know if it's the same actor from like a Goofy movie and all that, but credit where credit's due. If it is the same guy, he does a great job, even though he doesn't have many lines. So, animation, it's Disney. It looks great. It's Disney in the 80s, so it's nice, hand-drawn. The intro and credits are done in this really cool style. I don't really want to talk about it that much because it's kind of a spoiler, even though I already kind of spoiled the ending already, but then again, we should all know this story. I'm pretty sure we all heard it like 100 times. But my point is, very nice animation. The music works. It kind of gets you to feel cold, warm, frightened, happy. The end credits music, it's Christmas Carol kind of music. It's great. The version I watched, the audio was mixed fine. Like, I didn't really notice any problems with the audio. Picture quality was fine. When it gets down to it, can I recommend Mickey's Christmas Carol? Yes. I'm going to give it 3 raptor claws out of 4. And I know a lot of people have I've known some people have asked, so what do you mean by, you've been given a lot of movies 3 out of 4. What does that mean? 3 out of 4 means I'll buy it at some point if I don't already have it. It's a must-watch. I'm not saying drop everything, run and watch it right now, because, you know, it either didn't captivate me fully, or I was thoroughly entertained but not, like, sucked in completely, or it followed a formula, which I think is the best reason why it's not a 4 Raptor Claw movie. It followed the A Christmas Carol formula. It didn't really do anything new with the story, just with the new characters. That doesn't mean it's bad. It's a fantastic adaptation. It's probably one of the better ones out there. But I do feel a need to mention that it isn't a whole lot new. There is some good humor, there is some good sight gags, and the characters work for the roles they're given. But there isn't a whole lot that's genuinely new. Like, okay, if you want to know what I mean by what's new, look at the Jim Carrey version that Image Movies did with the whole Ghost of Christmas Future again. The idea of him being a shadow, you never see his face and he never speaks a word, that's new and that's awesome. Stuff like that. Like, taking the mythos and stuff and just kind of messing with it a little bit. So, with that out of the way, I'd like to talk to you guys for a minute. I get it. I get that some of you don't celebrate Christmas religiously. I understand that, especially this year more than any year, religion and politics and just connections with other people are being torn apart faster than we can imagine. And if you're expecting me to give some big heavy-handed message about we need to fight back, no. No, we don't. Fighting is just going to make this worse. You know what I want for Christmas? I want something for all of you. I want you guys to find someone you don't know. Someone you've never met. Could be on the internet, could be in real life. And just say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you want to say to them. Say hello, say good day. Just a couple kind words can really make someone's day. And to be honest, Christmas, to me, means a lot religiously. The idea of Jesus' birth and his eventual death and resurrection, it means a lot. It's kind of what I live for. It's what I kind of base my life around. The idea of being good. But I understand some of you don't follow that. you know what I think Christmas should be then for you? It should be about family. It should be about the people that you care for. People, you may not have spoken to them in a long time, but you should. You should take the time this year. Find the people you care for and let them know just how much you care. Because that can be the greatest Christmas present of all. I wouldn't be sitting here right now if it weren't for you guys. And I know every YouTuber ever has said this. But genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I don't do this for money. Most of my videos aren't even monetized. Why do I do this? Because I want to make people smile. I want to make them happy. And to be honest, sitting here knowing that I've made at least a couple people smile or laugh, that's better than any amount of subscribers I could ever get. So this Christmas, you guys, maybe we could all just take a step back and instead of throwing insults, throw kindness. Because really, isn't that what Christmas is all about? But hey, until next time, you guys, this is the Media Raptor saying Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate, I support you on it. Have a great New Year, and until next time, keep cool, and I'll see all you dino dudes around. Merry Christmas.